Yeah.
The next 2 nights after that, I slept in my truck, out on the streets in the freezing cold.
Yeah.
I had people come up to me on the streets. They gave me some gas for my truck to keep it running. And then on the third night that I was there, I had a whole bunch of people reach out to me, offer to send me money to stay in hotel rooms while I'm out here. They said, we can't let you go home. You need to stay out here. You need to get the real news out there.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of people reach out to me. They sent me money so I could get hotel rooms. I'm now 10 days later. I've also given out, as of tomorrow, will mark $11,850 I've given out to the truckers just from donations from people out here.
That are donating to you?
Yeah.
What is your tag so people can donate to you?
I can drop my email down below in the comments.
Yeah. And was it a Zelle or something?
It was e-transfers for Canadians or PayPal for Americans.
Okay, there we go. All right.
And yeah, I've given out, like I said, $11,850 in the last 10 days.
And what are you doing with, as far as giving it out? Are you just giving them money, or are you just paying for what they are?
So what I've been doing is I've been taking out cash. I've been giving it out to the truckers. I find certain truckers that are in need of things, like I always make my rounds off lives or on lives. I see what they need specifically.
Yeah.
And I make sure that, if they need something, I'll go out of my way. I'll go to Walmart. I'll go to Canadian Tire. I'll go get these guys whatever they need. Like one trucker was out there. The town of Ottawa, a couple people that live there, they tried to pull him out of his window and beat him up right there on the streets.
Really?
And yeah, man. So the next day I went out, I bought him a dab. I got him everything he needed so that he was safe in his truck, and other truckers out here that were sleeping in the back of their box trucks, I went and got them foam toppers, air mattresses, like anything like that to try and help them out of here, so
fuck yeah.
We've been going heavy, man. 10, 12-hour days out on the streets, walking up and down,
Dude, I can't believe Canada's doing it first.
Yeah, man, it's wild. And these guys, you interview every single trucker that's out here on the streets.
Yeah.
And how long do you plan on being here for? And they all look at you and they go, I'm not leaving. I'm here to stay. Once all these mandates are lifted or Trudeau leaves Parliament, that is when we leave.
Wow. Are they being affected to the point where they can't work? And
so a lot of these truckers are not working right now. They're parked up out here. They've called their employers. They said, yeah, we're not coming back for at least another week or 2 weeks. And then after that time frame, they call their employers back again and say, listen, we're still not coming back. We're staying out here. And then other people have lost their jobs out here, being in a truck supporting the movement. Their companies have called them and said, yeah, we don't want you guys back. And these guys are just staying put, like a lot of them aren't working. A lot of them are away from their families. And, it's sad to see because these guys are putting everything on the line for all of us out here. And they're fighting for freedom out here, the little kids' freedom out here. And like I said, these guys are not leaving. They are here to stay. And you ask every single one of them, and it's nothing but the only thing we need from you guys is more faces to show up on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I heard they called out. They want more people to come start packing their stuff now because they might have a media blackout. Is that, you think that's...
I heard that today. There was cell phone shortages out with Bell and Rogers out here with certain postal codes that were affected by it. They're trying to do everything they can to silence us out here because they don't want the truth getting out, right?
Yeah.
And with people like me and other live streamers out there that are out here live streaming everything, putting the truth out there, showing everything online, what is actually going on out here, it's absolutely crazy, and they're doing everything they can to silence us. So
have you noticed, we've been seeing some cops taking away the gas. Is that a real thing, or is it was just a one-time incident?
No, that is a real thing. So they raided Coventry, which is a place like a base camp had with a bunch of fuel there. They started taking diesel cans out of back of pickup trucks. They took slip tanks, they emptied their slip tanks out. There was a guy that was parked up with me in the downtown core. He was parked behind me, and he was carrying a diesel can, just a 20-liter can of diesel. And the cops pushed him around, threw him in the back of the cop car, and they took him to jail.
Really?
Yeah, we proceeded to interview the cops, get a badge number or a name. They wouldn't provide us with any of that information, which they're legally supposed to. And on top of that, like there was a lot of people getting their fuel taken away. So a lot of people were out here today. They came out strong. There was hundreds and hundreds of people walking around the streets with empty jerry cans just to deter the cops and try and distract them from people bringing in full ones, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy what they were doing out here. They were doing everything they can to stop us from being out here and to make us all go home. But, you know, they don't realize that they're on the wrong side of history because we're fighting for their rights too and their children's rights as well, you know?
How do you see this ending? Or do you see it ending?
I'm hoping it ends soon so I can go back home. But, you know, I don't think this is going to end with us getting what we want. And I'm almost 100% certain on that because, you know, these truckers a lot of them are telling me that they're ready to jack their trucks up and take the wheels off and sit them on the ground with no tires on.
Wow, man, that's so awesome because, you know, America, we're just getting our asses handed to us right now. And then we get in trouble for January 6th and it's like, fuck. And you guys are doing the real deal. That's the way to do it. And you guys have no guns.
No, and we're making a worldwide movement over here too, man. Like, you know, I get messages like myself just from like going live all the time on Instagram. Like, I'm getting messages from people all over the world telling me how much of an inspiration I am, how much I've made a difference in their country or where they are, and it's absolutely crazy, man. And the cops are doing everything out here they can to try and show anything to get us to show a little sign of frustration or anger or anything. And the whole time you see everyone walking around like me with a big smile on their face. It doesn't matter what the cops do to us or what they say to us. We still sit here with a smile because, you know, we've been here. Well, I've been here 10 days. These other guys have been here 12, 13 days. And as soon as we show one sign of, you know, hatred or fighting back, that whole 13 days was for nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, really. It's pretty amazing to see, even just watching your live footage earlier today of what's going on. But is there like cops like secretly on your side and you kind of caught that or no?
So I want to say there is, because when you talk to some cops out here, they will actually like kind of give you a conversation. They'll actually go out of their way to kind of talk to you, and you can tell the ones that are just there to get their paycheck. You can tell that they're there to support the truckers, but they can't come out and say it.
Yeah.
And they don't have the balls to stand up to the police department and tell them that, you know, I stand behind the truckers because they don't want to lose their jobs. I get it. You know, these cops out here, they still need to provide for their families. But the end of the day, man, like, you know, if they believe this is the right thing to do, then they should be doing it. So
they'll get their job back.
Yeah, apparently yesterday, a gentleman joined my live earlier and was telling me about it. After the guy got arrested with the jerry cans, I looked over at the one cop and I was like, do you have kids at home? I'm like, you're on the wrong side of history, man. Like, you know, you should really be thinking about your children that you have at home. Because I'm like, I know you got kids at home. And this cop turned around and he got super frustrated, and I can tell it hit a nerve, right? And somebody told me today that cop actually resigned from duty and made a video about it online. So I'm trying to find the link to that video so I can watch it and see what's going on. So
yeah, repost it.
There is a lot of cops out here that, you know, they do support the truckers, but they don't want to stand up and say that, you know, because they're too scared to lose their jobs, which I understand.
What is the next move for the truckers? Just to hang out? Are they? I mean, I saw some footage of them. It looks like a big party down there, and it's snowing. Is it snowing right now?
No, not right now, but it was snowing earlier today.
Okay. What is their next move? Just to hold the line? Is that all they're doing?
We're just holding the line right now. They just we're not allowed to honk horns for 10 days because.
Stupid. That's the dumbest rule I've ever heard. That's like a Canadian rule.
Yeah. Apparently that they have the right, if you're honking your horn, they can pull you right out of your truck and arrest you there on the spot. So
that's, you know, actually, yeah, it is I can see that law. Yeah,
we're quiet the last couple of days. You know, there hasn't been any really horn honking or anything like that, you know, but it's been pretty peaceful. We're doing what we can. You know, you got to give a little to get a little in return. And, you know, we're out here doing everything we can. Like that comment down there that says making rules as they go, that is super true. Every day these guys are coming out with something new to try and screw us over and make us look like the bad guys, you know. But at the end of the day, like, we're there. I've never seen, like, the other day I was walking down the streets and it was like I was at a carnival, you know. There was bouncy castles everywhere. There was food stands everywhere from people donating food, clothes, toothpaste, diapers, wipes, like all that stuff to anybody that was on the streets. If you were homeless, you were more than welcome to come and help yourself there. You know, if you were just a protester or just a trucker on the streets, you were more than welcome to go up to the food stands, get anything you needed from all these stands that were out there. You know, there was kids playing. They had like little Connect 4 things that these kids could play with out there, like big Lego blocks, bouncy castles, bales of hay they could climb on, you know. And it was crazy, man. Like, and I've talked to some little kids out here too, like 8 to 10 years old. And you ask them, like, well, what are you guys doing here? And they're like, we're fighting for our freedom. You know, we don't want to wear a mask anymore. And I'm like, holy crap, you know, like.
Have you heard any word that America's going to do it? Or through the trucker talk, like, you know, the truckers talking, maybe they know.
So I did hear about the Convoy. I don't know if you're familiar with it, coming from California.
Yeah.
Through to Washington.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people talking about Washington, I think sometime in March.
Okay.
They're planning to go there. That was what I heard today. I've actually had people reach out to me and offer me a flight to Washington so I can do what I'm doing right here in Ottawa out in Washington, but I'm not vaccinated, right? So I can't really cross the border. So
yeah, you could print one out. Don't worry, America. They're idiots at the airport.
But
no, I wouldn't do that. You go to jail. But man, it's just fascinating that you guys are fighting, especially, you know, it's freezing out there. Americans don't really like to protest in the winter.
Yeah, man, it sucks out here. So the first 3 or 4 nights I was here, it was about -28, -30 with the wind chill.
Oh my God. So and what do they
only a t-shirt and a pair of running shoes.
Well, that's Canadian blood.
A pair of running shoes, sorry.
Well, that's because you guys are Canadians, and that's. Hey, with the truckers, do they just keep their trucks on 24/7?
Yeah, so most of the time they're running. You know, the odd time you'll see them shut it off for a little bit, like throughout the daytime when they got the sun up there and stuff like that. But normally, yeah, it is normally running 90% of the day, just so that these guys still have a warm place to sit. You see the odd time they get out, they go for a walk up and down the street to stretch their legs, but 90% of the time, there's so many people coming up to their trucks day in and day out that they don't even have time to get out and stretch their legs for themselves. They're just stuck sitting in the driver's seat, talking to people that come up to their windows. You know, like you walk past these trucks from the first day I came here till now, and all down the whole left and right side of their trucks, they got notes from little kids. They got drawings from little kids. And it's crazy, man, to see like how far this protest has gone in just 1 week, you know. It's wild.
Tell me, they're saying that all the businesses are closed around that area because you guys are there. Is that true?
Yeah. So they did close. Yeah, they've closed like everything except for a couple little stores, you know, like McDonald's and Tim Hortons, and there's like a Giant Tiger, the dollar store, just like the basic little stuff that's open. But they closed down the mall. The mall's not open. They have closed down every washroom in the whole downtown core so that none of these truckers have a washroom to use. So now you have protesters going out there renting porta potties in a trailer with their truck, and they're bringing porta potties out for the truckers.
Wow. And the cops, okay, so is the cops present right now, like weak?
No, there's lots of cops.
And are they just giving everyone tickets? Are they looking for people like you helping people?
So yeah, what it's been is, you know, they've been pretty laid back, you know, like they walk in groups 10 to 12. Yeah. Everywhere, they're all over the streets. Like they've called in cops from all over the place to come in here to help. And you know, there wasn't really many tickets been giving out because they can't really give tickets out to people that are peaceful, right? And they started giving out tickets yesterday for a couple truckers got ticketed for illegally parking on the street where they were parked. You know, they gave them a $110 ticket. A couple other guys got tickets for diesel cans and just stupid stuff like that. You know, anything to try and scare people away.
Yeah, but the truckers are not moving once they get the ticket, right?
No, they get that ticket and they put it on their passenger seat and they still sit there.
Right, because you guys are getting funding and they would just pay tickets.
Yeah.
Did you see the truck, the green truck? He was pinned on the side of the road. It was a video of this guy being pinned. I don't know if it was your video. Do you know anything?
So I did see that video.
Yeah.
And apparently the cop backed up to his front bumper and Buddy kept backing up his truck a little bit just so that the cop didn't hit his bumper, damage his truck, right? And he did it a couple times, and then that's when the cops pulled him out of his truck. And I believe they arrested him. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't watch the full video because I've been too busy out here on live videos.
Right.
But there was also another incident with an older gentleman. I think he was in his 80s or in his 90s. He was beeping his horn, and the cops threw him on the ground and arrested him for beeping his horn.
It's so dumb. This is dumb. What's your next? I mean, you're just gonna keep covering what's going on. Are you getting inside the trucks, talking to the drivers?
So what I do is I stand up on the side of their trucks, like on their little 2 steps on the outside by the door, and I go up and I'll talk to some of them. You know, a lot of them don't really want to talk because they don't like on camera, but there has been a couple truckers I've talked to, like the one guy I mentioned earlier that they tried to pull him out of his truck. That guy there, I've had him cry on my shoulder multiple times. He really expressed and opened up like how he really felt. And it was crazy, man. Like, you know, like some of these truckers out here have some very, very touching stories. And sometimes, like when I talk to them, I mute my phone on live because I don't want the people to hear it, right? Because some of them are very emotional, and I just rather keep that to like a one-to-one basis than having thousands of people see it, you know?
Yeah. Tell me, do you ever ask the truck drivers, do they think something else is pushing this agenda? Do they feel like this is a world plan? You know, like a lot of people say that, you know, this is coming from NATO, or, you know, like the prime minister is part of the cabal and all this conspiracy stuff that we always talk about. Do they feel like this is this is it, you know, the Great Reset? They're really trying to push this vaccine mandate, and the next thing is something else. Do they talk about
a lot of these guys, because a lot of these guys have seen the news, right? So they see like how stuff is like paid off out here and how they do everything they can to make us bad people out here. You know, they call us a bunch of racists and terrorists for being out here and doing what we're doing on the streets. So a lot of these guys have really awakened from the bullshit that's put out there. And yeah, like that comment says there, they're trying to break us, but it's really not going to work. You know, we're catching on to the lies, we're catching on to the bullshit, and we're just going to stay here and hold the line until all this is over, man.
Yeah, and when it's over, get your guns back too. Do they I was going to ask you, are these truckers, are they worried about getting work later, or are they're okay because they're being funded?
Yeah, no, these guys are not worried at all. Like I said, they said that once this is over and they can go back to normal life, they said they've really realized, like a lot of companies that are out there that will actually stand behind this convoy and support it 100%. And then you have other companies out there that don't want you there, and they have truckers out there. Unfortunately, they're still out here, and they've made those truckers tape up their company logos on the side because they don't want to be known as part of the protest.
So the truckers in Canada have to be vaccinated to work? Is that a correct statement?
I'm not 100% sure on them having to be 100, like on being vaccinated, but a lot of these truckers out here are vaccinated, you know, but that's not what this whole thing's about. It's not about the vaccine. It's mostly about getting our rights back and getting our freedom back and dropping all these ridiculous mandates, you know?
Yeah.
Because like I said, a lot of these people are vaccinated, and
that's interesting. I mean, at least they woke up before it was too late.
Yeah.
A lot of people say your prime minister looks like Castro. What do you think? Do you guys talk about that at all?
Yeah, they talk about that all the time. They talking about that being his father, you know? So.
Okay. And where is he hiding? Has he appeared anywhere?
So he has been in Parliament, I believe, the last 2 days now, right in the downtown core of Ottawa, doing an emergency speech thing that they've been doing in Parliament right now. And you should hear it in there, man. These guys are going back at one another inside the house, and, you know, So I'm hoping, you know, that this will end soon and we can finally get him to come out and speak to the truckers, you know, and either
let's hope he resigns.
That's what I have to say. Hopefully we can get him to resign, or, you know, all these mandates are lifted, but he definitely needs to go, man.
Yeah. Did you vote for him?
I did not vote.
Okay.
I'm not really into like the whole politics and all that stuff, but you know, I'm not into conspiracies. I'm not into politics. But when I came here and I seen what the news was putting out and to what was actually happening out here, I was like, you know what? I need to stay because the people really need to know what's going on out here, and what they're putting out on the news is not true.
Yeah, this is a whole big shift for you because I saw your profile.
Yeah.
What you used to do.
Normally condos and doing automotive photography, and now I'm out here being a journalist, and it's great. I have so many people message me and they're like, man, you should really look into doing like news reporting and stuff like this when you're done this. And I'm like, wow, like, you know, that'd be a huge career change, you know, but
yeah, I mean, you kind of want to do it when it's summertime, I would think, but I mean,
yeah, 100%. It sucks. Old, man.
It does. I bet. Are you guys, I know, was there videos, I saw videos of people playing hockey in the street. Is that true?
Yeah, man. So they played hockey. They had a little tournament, and they made a unity cup and everything. It was amazing, man. It was absolutely amazing. I witnessed it. I was there. They sung the national anthem before they started playing. It was crazy, man. Like, you know, nothing but peace and love out here. There's not one sign of violence, not one sign of racism. And it's absolutely amazing, man. Just give me 1 second, brother.
Yeah. Interesting, guys. Just so you guys know, his email's right there. You can actually donate to him, and then he will give funds to the truckers and supply them with different things that they need. Tell me, brother, is Antifa or BLM up in there?
So there has been signs of Antifa being out here. I was actually in a case where I was threatened numerous times out here by them.
Really?
And, yeah, man. So somebody made a false call to the police department that I had a gun on my waistband, and I left my truck the one day, and about 12 cops pushed me up on a sidewalk. They searched me right there, you know, made me put my hands up and everything, told me get them out of my pockets, don't reach, all that bullshit. And they searched me for a weapon, and I was like, I'm just out here, I'm just on live, I'm doing my thing. And the day before that, my truck was personally attacked too by a couple people on the streets. They dented my door. They tried to smash my windshield. And yeah, man, it was crazy. Thank God I had the truckers out there looking over me. They jumped out and got the guys to go away. They stood up for me. So it was crazy. Yeah, like there has been some signs of those people out here, but it's not stopping us, and we're not going anywhere.
Do we have any Americans in there with you guys?
In the convoy?
Yeah.
Yes, there is American truckers out here in this convoy.
That are stuck in Canada, or?
As far as I know, I've talked to a couple of them, and they have no sign of wanting to go back yet. Like they're here to stay.
Wow. Okay. So what's your plan for tomorrow?
My plan for tomorrow is hit the streets again. We'll give out some more cash to the truckers out there. Try and focus on what's going on in the streets. Some stage presence where they do some speeches and stuff out there. I actually took my tailgate off my truck today. Got a bunch of people that are walking the streets to sign it. Just try and focus on the good stuff that's out there that the news doesn't want to put out there, right?
Yeah, no, this is fascinating. I'm learning all this from you right now. I would have never heard any of this. So people are saying that you actually give out the money during your lives. Is that a thing you do?
Yep. So I make sure as soon as I get a donation, it's right there on live with me giving it out, just so nobody thinks that I'm pocketing any money. You know what I mean? Right.
Well, I mean, as long as you're comfortable there as well, too, because I know you still got to pay your bills. As far as cops watching your live feeds, don't you feel like they could be watching you and could be?
100%. They watch me, and like I say, every time I'm on live, I just give a big smile and I tell them I love all you guys watching me. From supporters to haters to other people out there that just watch and don't comment. I'm like, I love you guys all. You guys are all amazing, man.
That's good. No, that's what I would do too. Yeah. Any last words you want to say?
No, man. Just thanks for having me on here. I appreciate that. And if you ever want to get together again on another live and do a little interview like this, I'm
Yeah. I would like to do a whole, hour podcast with you just so we had it in a more formal setting.
Yep.
Where you can really, where you're relaxed and you can break down things a little more than this live. But yeah, let's set that up too.
Yeah, man. 100%.
Is it true that Canadians always say A?
Yeah, we do say that a lot. And I also have some maple syrup candies in my truck too as we speak.
All right. And then those are all your real teeth too, right?
Yeah, those are, yeah.
All right, brother. Thanks for coming on, man. Great.
Yes. Appreciate you, brother. Truck, yeah, homie.
Yeah, truck, yeah, there you go. Cool.
Yeah, we also got that trending too. Truck, yeah, I had that trending.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. All right, thanks, buddy. We'll talk again tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Later. Interesting, right, guys? Fascinating what's going on in Canada. We learned a lot right there, obviously, and that's the whole point of talking to everybody around the world. So that's what we try to do. So also, if anyone else is getting involved with the American convoy, that will be, we might have a team going and following them across the country. Yes, we would love to be in Canada to cover that, and I would have a team there if we possibly could. I don't know if we could get equipment there fast enough. But yeah, I mean, listen, that's the whole point of these IG lives. And luckily we got that IG live as long as we could right now without it shutting down. And that was the whole point of just keeping it, get all the facts out, get everything him to say, everything that he needed to say before IG tries to do anything stupid like delete this. I just want to say, very fascinating. Glad to have him in. I'm going to sit down with him probably for a good hour and a half and talk about everything just so we can archive it in a more formal setting in a podcast format because I think it's very important to archive this in our history because we need to remember this because this is the pivotal point in history if they can accomplish it. In Canada, if they can get the prime minister, the ideal thing is get the prime minister to resign, mandates lifted, and everyone gets their freedom back and get their guns back. That's another thing. Canada needs to get their guns back for sure. I think after they win this, I think the truckers, like after they win, and they're like, well, maybe we should stay another week and try to get the guns back. I think that would be a more, that would be a big win too for you guys because I'm shocked that Canada did it first. And, well, they're not done yet, but let's hope Canada, goes through because America, we have a huge mission ahead of us right now because we all know if America goes down, well, it looks like Canada could be the last one. And usually we were the last one to, well, that was the whole thing where America, if America falls, the world falls. But it looks like Canada is sticking right up there. They're up there, but then they got no guns. So that's pretty good, if I would have to say. Anyone want to jump on real quick just to, I want to get that other convoy. I wonder if that convoy's on there. Let's see, anyone else in Canada right now that want to jump on? Just so you guys know, the email right there that I pinned, Lock Up Freedom Convoy 2022. Anybody want to jump on, you can request that. Just so you guys know, the email right there is so you can donate directly to Austin. It's in Canada. I believe that's his PayPal / some Canada pay. Some weirdo pay, right? No, but you can donate, and he basically walks around and helps out the truckers. Gives them fuel, whatever, food, whatever. And he does it live, and he shows you where the money's going, which is great. And also supports what he's doing out there. Because it's very hard to get someone out there that's honest, recording. And it's just, let's get on Jasper here. Let's see. Hopefully this is not a dog. This picture looks like a dog. So hopefully this person is a real person. We don't need a dog talking to a dog, right? There he is.
Hey.
What's up, brother? Are you in Canada? Wait, I can already sense that accent right there.
Yeah, yeah, I'm in Canada. I'm actually live downtown Ottawa. I see Austin almost every day,
Okay.
walking the streets. So yeah, he's doing a great job, and you can really see how he's really like evolved as an individual from the first day he got here about 11 days ago to, becoming kind of a, citizen journalist on the ground and covering everything that's going on, showing the real truth of what's happening as opposed to what we're seeing on the mainstream media. So it's really truly a great gift that he's offering to all of us, and I highly recommend everyone to follow Shots by Hill for sure.
Yeah, tell me, brother, you on there as well, or are you involved?
Yeah, well, absolutely. So me personally, I was a federal government worker for about 15 years. I have a heart condition as well. So, well, to be honest, I've never really been to like the annual flu shot or anything like that. So this experimental one was even more sketchy for me as well. But considering the fact that there's known side effects to the heart, made me really not want to take it. My doctors also had ideas of like, maybe you shouldn't take it, but they also say, we can't give you an exemption or else I'll lose my job. So, I'm really caught between a hard rock or a, hard place and a whatever, that expression, you know what I'm trying to say. And so I've been on zero income since November. So I've been like trying to support the truckers as best I can because I live like a block away from all the action. I've been making like lunches with my mom. Actually, she's been making lunches, but I attached a little note with my contact information, with my phone number, my address, just letting them know if you need a shower, you need to use the bathroom, you need to do laundry, just, I'm there for you. My home is your home.
Right.
So, I've been having about a dozen truckers come through almost every day just to, freshen up and, feel human again. And because I want them to stay as long as they can. Because if these mandates are lifted, I get my job back and I don't lose my apartment. So,
okay. What kind of job is it?
I work in IT for Transport Canada.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you this: in the news in Canada, is it really censored on the news? Like, do they shoot it where it's like, oh, there's only a few people here, it's not a big issue? Is that how they present it on your Canadian news?
Yeah, the way they portray it is horrendous. It's fully state propaganda. The narratives that they portray in the mainstream news they're like press releases from the Trudeau government that they just repeat. So whatever Trudeau wants them to say, they'll say it. So Trudeau's, it's incredible how insulting he is to these hardworking family, type people. They're sacrificing their livelihoods to be here to really end the mandates. And like Austin said, a lot of them are vaccinated. So this is not about or I shouldn't even say that word. I don't know how IG's their algorithms are gonna pick up on that, but those inoculations, let's say, it's about freedom. It's about freedom of choice. And, the counter protesters, the Antifa types do show up in very small numbers. It's kind of it's really pathetic to see. It's like a clown show almost. And another interesting thing to note is they don't have any Canadian flags, whereas the truckers and the people that come to support the truckers, there's Canadian flags, there's American flags, Australian flags, Ireland flags from Ireland, all kinds of patriotic symbolism. Whereas the counter protester movement, it's all dressed in black. There are zero flags. They're all fully masked, and they just, but they're like a tiny minority, whereas we're hundreds of thousands, they're maybe like a few hundred. And so the contrast is there. And, Trudeau called us the fringe minority, when in reality, you can see for yourself, the counter protests are truly the fringe minority.
Do Canadians feel that the election was kind of weird, that when he ran again, do they feel like something shady was about that?
Yeah. I would say a lot of rational, like independent thinking Canadians can certainly see that. Anyone who kind of turns off the mainstream news can see that. Elections Canada themselves have actually recently announced that there was like hundreds of thousands of votes that they didn't count that they should have. So there's a lot of things that are certainly very shady. I mean, the Trudeau government has spent over $400 billion in the past 2 years. And where did that money go? So there's a lot of, serious questions regarding the ethics, I would say, regarding the current government. For me, the way I like to portray it is that there's two groups of people. There's people that put money ahead of morals, and there's others that put morals ahead of money. And I certainly want to, be part of the group that puts their morals first.
Yeah. Tell me, were you ever involved in politics before this movement at all? Or this is...
I grew up in politics. Like, my father was a federal politician. He was a member of parliament. So I grew up surrounded in politics, surrounded by mainstream media my whole life, from a very, very young age. So yeah, it certainly has given me a kind of, I don't want to say unique, but definitely far from average vantage point to how the whole machine of politics works. Right. So, this isn't like, so, you talk about conspiracy theories and stuff, but it's more like conspiracy realist, like more than anything. And this is from someone who grew up in it. So it's not just someone who's watching movies on YouTube. It's like, I see how it works.
So you believe that's what's going on, that there is a slow takeover of Canada as well as America and the rest of the world?
I mean, you just have to look at Carl Schwab and the World Economic Forum, how there's an orchestrated effort globally. I mean, you don't have to come up with a conspiracy theory about it. You see it. You see it in Australia. You see it in pretty much in all the G7 countries. That's where it's, where these mandates are the most strict or pushed the hardest. Right. Initially Trudeau was saying, once we get to 75% of people that are, with the jab or whatever you want to call it, we can kind of, scale back the restrictions and open up the country again. But now he's saying we're above 90%, and he's still pushing for, I don't even think 100% is going to be good enough for this little dictator, It's
just so weird that they want to keep pushing this drug. You can still get it.
Yeah.
You get 3 jabs.
Yeah, absolutely. So the prime minister himself is a walking contradiction, because he's got them all and he's still getting it. But yet he says, oh, you should get it too, even though he's the definition of it not working. And it's really, really, it's not about health. These restrictions are not about health. They're about control. They're about tracking people. Like, every time you scan your QR code, it's not to help keep you healthy. It's to keep a record. Oh, you were there at that time. And it's just going to snowball more and more. So these truckers are angels of freedom. I bless their hearts. God chosen them to be the group to get us out of this mess. So the way we were going as a country, Quebec was about to implement what they called a vax tax. So if you didn't get it, they were going to charge you. They were even they've never announced the exact number, but some number they were throwing out there was $1,500 a month. That's insane. And if you didn't pay it, what were the penalties going to be? And if we didn't push back on this, other provinces, which is what we call in Canada, but what you call states, we call provinces. Yeah. That would just, expand further. And then what would that lead to? Oh, if you don't pay it, what are you going to do? Be sent to jail now? So it's just, I'm so thankful that we have those truckers here, because now they've rescinded even that proposal. So that's not happening. There's provincial mandates that are being lifted as of Monday, next week, Monday, in some provinces. So, they're really turning the tides, or the ship that, is really, it's a big ship, this thing, but we're seeing change, not only in Canada on provincial levels and, hopefully on a federal level soon, but we're seeing it in other countries as well, but mostly countries that are not part of the G7. But so they're seeing the impact. We're seeing other countries being inspired by these truckers, starting their own, truckers for freedom convoys. And
it's fascinating.
It's a moment of history for sure.
It's fascinating that the truckers are the ones that are stepping in. We always hope that our military would do it, or even the cops would try to, join our side. But the truckers of all people, because I guess, they're pretty much close to a rolling down the street. But Jasper, what else do you do as far as helping out this movement? Do you need support? Are you looking for support to help them as well, like you're doing with Austin? Are you working with Austin?
I'm good contact with Austin, and I met him actually just through his lives. And just because I live so close, I'm, you know, the first night he slept in his truck, and I'm like, man, you can sleep at my place, or at least come grab a shower or something. So he definitely came over for that. So, you know, I met him through that. So I'm there to support him in any way I can. You know, but, you know, it's just a lot of people that have driven, you know, across Canada, you know, whether or not they're a trucker, they're here to support the truckers. So Austin is more from the Toronto area. You know, myself, I'm, you know, a local. I grew up, you know, I'm born and raised in Ottawa. So, you know, besides that, I am an entrepreneur. I work on a few startup businesses, but it's not related to the trucker convoy. But, you know, that also, you know, keeps me busy for sure.
Right. Okay. All right. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for coming on.
I just want to say one last thing. Just to note, you know, you mentioned how the truckers, like, it's interesting how it's that group that's really created this movement, and this you know, it's changed this atmosphere of fear that we've been living in for 2 years into an atmosphere of freedom and optimism and hope. So, you know, I just want to say God bless those truckers, and the importance of truckers, I think, can't be you know, there's no way to underestimate it, because if you got it, like the mic you have, every equipment you have, the fridge, the food in my fridge, the fridge itself, everything, if you got it, a trucker brought it. So for me, it's, you know, I've never really thought about it. I took them for granted forever. But at this point, like, for me, the trucker community, truckers in general, they have my utmost respect. They are the backbone of every society. Without truckers, you starve, literally. So so for people who are not, like, supporting of the truckers, like it defies logic. Like, throw out all your food, turn off all your electronics, because the truckers brought that to you. Even the phone that you have was brought in on a truck from the ports, you know, off the ocean, whatever. So yeah. So yeah, God bless those truckers. And, you know, above doctors, above lawyers, above politicians, truckers are at the very top of who, you know, deserves our respect.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, brother. Thanks for coming on. We'll talk.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, brother. Wow. Interesting. One thing I want to say is that, think about this. Now, before, when we were driving down the road and we see a truck and he's in your effing way because they're so slow, you kind of want to give them some respect, right? Now we're going to give the truckers respect. Now we're going to apologize for all the years of us yelling at trucks as they're in our way, as they are all the time in my way. But I will now turn a new leaf and be nicer to the truckers, because you got to be right. This is so fascinating what we're going through right now. Everything and anything that's going on that we've never really talked about, we are talking about. From the ships, from the truckers, from the borders, from the election, from the post office, from you name it, everything is an eye-opening thing that we need to look at a lot more, because you're right, truckers run this country. And if you are against the truckers, you're an asshole. That's what you are. You're an asshole if you're against the trucker. Leave them alone. They don't want some experimental poison juice in their arm, or, you know, a lot of them have had the jab and they're fighting it. So I guess it's not about the jab. So interesting. It's very interesting. And these people that are there helping out this movement, getting, like Austin getting footage, Jasper helping out any way he can. These people are going to, they are the ones that are going to really help really expand how we're going to get information, and how they're contributing to the movement, which is a huge deal, because you got to remember, someone's got to scrub the toilet. Someone's got to feed someone, and you have to thank them all. And it's coming down to all of that we're recognizing almost everyone to the very, you know, lowest thing in the world. And a lot of people probably thought truckers were, you know, what a crappy job, you know. It's a well-paying job. They do their stuff and they run America, and that's our veins in America almost, right? Is the trucks our veins, or is it the what is it? No, maybe it's the trains. Maybe you can trust live stream, not the news. That's right. That is right. They it's unbelievable. Let's see. Any other? No more requests. Okay. Fascinating night. Great to meet Austin out there in Texas, as well as Jasper. If you want to help out Austin in Canada, please do so. I mean, this guy, he's out there in the freezing effing cold. I know damn well if me and Alberto were out there, Alberto would be the first one to go inside and quit on me. He's capturing a lot of stuff out there. Hopefully he archives the footage, because this could be a big movement in the world. And Canada's doing it, and America didn't do it. We're over here just fighting protests one after another in different states here and there. And then January 6th was a big fuck show, and that didn't work out, I guess. I don't know what that was. That's why I was like, when we go to these protests, it's like 4 hours, we're done. 3 hours, we're done. But man, what Ottawa's doing, that's the way to do it. And hopefully America wakes up and we do it too. We got to step up to it. You're right, Freedom Convoy. It's amazing. It's great. I'm glad everyone joined in for this conversation. Thank you for joining in. Remember, guys, all our exclusive content's on our website, because we are totally censored. Let's see. Let's get this guy. Trunk, news. Let's see where he's from. I don't know how much time I have, because I don't know if IG will kick me off. We got one more guy coming in. What's up? Uh-oh. No image.
Nope. There we go. Can't do an image.
Uh-oh. Can't do it. Are you in a secret location, or?
Not in a secret location. USA based. Helping out Austin and anyone in Ottawa with restreams, probably 12 to 14 hours a day.
Really? Where are you restreaming their stuff?
Red state.
Red state? What do you mean?
In the US.
No, I know that, but you said you're restreaming their streams?
Yes. So,
on the
YouTube. We added Rumble, Twitter, and Facebook until we get blocked.
What's your profile? Or what's your name?
Name I can't give you. Name I can't give you, but it's Truck Yeah News. On everything.
Okay, so that's where people want to see, if they want to see all the restreams. Are you getting like more than one restream in a shot?
Yes. Yep. So I'm working on getting vMix up, if you're familiar with vMix.
Is that another person in Canada, I assume?
No, vMix is just a streaming software, which I encourage anyone to, if they want to do restreams to help get the message out, that is literally what needs to get done.
Tell me, what if you notice that what's missing that no one knows right now that you've noticed since through all the live streams?
Everything on mainstream media, CBC, CTV, CNN up there and CNN down here. This is all about narratives and control. I've been in media for 13 years. Which is why I'm not showing my face. But it's very important for people to understand they're going to have to go outside of mainstream media to find the truth. They're going to have to go away from what they're used to and comfortable with to find truth. So in other words, use a browser that isn't manipulated. Use social medias that are a little outside of the mainstream. That you have to educate yourself to know both sides of the story.
Right.
That's the best message I could make.
Did you notice anything that you saw during the live streams that should be told that you saw?
Yes. So in reference to the Coventry fuel seizure, I believe that was more about optics for Canadians and those locals in Ottawa, more than actual factual hurting the truckers. Because just for show, because the fuel was court ordered to be given back today.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's new. What about, oh, so they're not really, you know, they're not taking away everyone's diesel everywhere, right? It was just that one little shot, or they are.
So the
taking.
fuel's still getting in. One of the emotional things today, I'd say one of the most emotional things today was the jerry can parade.
Okay.
With families, little kids carrying jerry cans around. So that's one of the biggest things I've seen. Over the weekend, some of the footage we captured. Saturday night, there was a rave in a street. Just everybody smiling, having fun, remembering what normalcy was about.
Right.
And then when, what else? I mean, just the little kids, the bounce houses they didn't even show on mainstream media, the free food, people loving on one another. I think that's really missing from society right now. This is all about divisiveness and dividing us.
Right.
I've had a lot of phone calls, messages, just from people watching the streams. And you connect with, it doesn't matter race, religion, sexual orientation. This is about them trying to divide us into segments and getting us to fight each other. And then eventually it'll turn into us fighting over fuel, fighting over food, fighting over supplies, fighting over control of our incomes. I mean, this is all about control. So, and taking away everything.
Right. Tell me, brother, is watching everything, what do you feel like the ending is going to be with this movement in Ottawa?
The truckers will win. I have faith that the truckers will win.
You've seen enough footage where it looks like they'll win. Is that what, like, they're all over?
Yeah.
Are they surrounded that building? Is that what it is? Or are they just surrounded in near streets?
They are right in front of Parliament. They are right in front of Parliament. There's 40 trucks in front of Parliament. The government really had, 5 to 6 days notice. And I think they just ignored it. I mean, I'm watching, live from Parliament feeds, everything, just absorbing everything I can right now to get as many messages out. One thing I want to say that Austin didn't mention, he interviewed a Chinese immigrant. I think it was last night or the night before. We posted it up if anyone wants to watch it, just that segment. And she compared Ottawa to 1989 Tiananmen Square. Very powerful. And for Austin, who's only 24 years old, doesn't know of Tiananmen Square, or maybe he wasn't taught it in school. Right. But for those of us who were a little younger than Austin in 1989, we remember that. We remember the image of the guy standing in front of the tank. We remember the ending to that. Mm-hmm. It's very powerful what Austin is doing. It is very powerful. He'll listen to anybody. He'll listen to both sides. That takes an amazing soul to be able to do that, to not tune out one side. So I know you've got a lot of fans in the States. Best advice I could give them is search as much as you can. I started doing this 10 or 11 days ago when Austin started going live, just because I wanted to see what was actually going on and inform myself.
No, that's the way to do it. So do you feel like it's going to happen in America?
Yes. And I'm already making plans to go and or assist. I can take off when I need to take off from work. Financially, I think I could do it. But I would need someone brave enough, so I'm hoping these mandates are lifted, in Canada, so I can get Austin down here and just be his camera guy.
Yeah, that would be great. All right, so everyone can find your stuff. If they type in Truck Yeah News, they can find you on any platform. Anything else you want to say before you go?
No, just I want to just say thank you all who are tuning in to all of our streams to watch Austin and his journey. Thank you for the time to give me a couple minutes to comment, and hopefully you'll see Truck Yeah News in Washington, D.C. with Austin reporting remotely.
All right, thanks for coming on, brother.
Thanks. Have a great night.
You too. There you go. Truck Yeah News. If you guys have, if you're not, follow him, because if you follow Truck Yeah News now, these are the kind of like streamers or restreamers that it's really hard to find. I don't know if you guys have a hard time finding restreams or want to keep connected with a bunch of streams in one screen. But there you go. Truck Yeah News is probably another platform to check out. And probably want to follow them now on Instagram, just so you're, just to keep in the loop, because America's next. And if America's next, well, we need to be ready, because this time I think the whole United States should go to DC, right? I think so. Remember, guys, I have Austin's email in the bottom there if you guys want to donate to Austin. He does lives in Ottawa, covers the whole thing that's going on. He's going like 10 to 12 hours lives down there, and he gives the money to the truckers and right on the live. So if you donate, he's going to donate to them. Austin, if you're listening, hopefully you'd donate some American flags. We kind of want some American flags in there a little bit. That'd be kind of cool, right? Because America's next, because that's basically why I'm saying that, because we need America better get ready, because we're not having it here. And this new world order, Great Reset, needs to go bye-bye. And it's funny with BLM, I don't know if you guys, anyone out there is a BLM supporter, which I know, you can't donate to them. And one of the leaders in Memphis just went to jail. One of the leaders of BLM went to jail for 6 years for illegally voting. So, good thing you guys joined that movement, because that was a disaster. And then a really quick another news, there was the thing about George Soros funding the movement to cancel Joe Rogan. Interesting. So hopefully Joe Rogan is not, part of the other side, which I don't know. Can he get out of that contract? I don't think so. And it's just, we're seeing everything. And it's amazing to be part of this thing. So anyways, guys, remember our content. If you want to stay in tune with us, we have a podcast on our site and Spotify, Apple Podcasts. It's Weber's Way. We are on all platforms. We're not really entertaining YouTube too much because they've kicked us off 3 times now. We do have a regular YouTube channel on there, but we just barely post on that. But we do post on our website every single day. We have a